Barstool Backstage on the guest list today, a legend, Mr. Cole Swindell. How are you, buddy?
What's up, man? Good to see y'all.
We're done with the pleasantries. You see this right here?
Oh, man.
I don't want to hear it, dude.
Hey,
Right off the bat?
Right off the bat.
You know
I mean, are
what's
y'all going to lose a game?
You know what's messed up? I told him.
He did.
I said, don't bring up Phillies Braves shit until.
Why wouldn't he? It's just.
All right, I got tipped off earlier. I can't say his name, but
Go ahead, do it.
a mutual acquaintance, very good friend,
Yeah.
told me. I told him that you were coming through, and he said you got to ask him about the time he drove down to the Braves Stadium and camped out in his car in the parking lot overnight to get tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna read this exact thing to you, and then he said he'll be able to tell who this is. So, Cole, we know you're a huge Braves guy. Is it true when you were back in college you slept in a car in Turner Field parking lot opening weekend against the Mets just so you could spend your college gig money on tickets and beer? Or was it because you didn't want to park again, or what?
Probably both, man. Yeah, I've always been a huge Braves fan, but that was, I did some questionable things, I feel like. So that was, but I mean, sleeping in the parking lot of the Braves Stadium.
Jim Willis.
Yeah, college buddy. So he's a good storyteller. So I don't know if I slept in there, but I remember that opening series. I think Glavine had gone to the Mets, and I just remember it was a huge opening series, and the sleeping in the park part. I don't remember all that, but
I'll say this. My story with you interjects with baseball in a way. I
Okay.
played college baseball.
Yep.
I'm from Philadelphia.
Awesome.
I never got into country music. And when I went to go play college ball, I got introduced to country music.
Yeah.
And it was Luke Bryan, and it was right after Chona came out.
Yeah.
So we would come out onto our practice field, and through the speakers in the PA was you. So I want to thank you
Oh,
for
yeah.
introducing me to country music. So I've
Dude.
always wanted to tell you that. I just never had the opportunity.
oh man, well thank you. That's I remember
The Braves still suck.
Yeah.
I don't want this to be
Don't let Phillies fans get mad
They
at you for
don't,
being.
though. They
yeah.
don't. I think
No,
the
they-
Braves are the.
No, but I knew last year. I wish I'd had talked to y'all last year because I was like, if we play the Phillies in the first, we're done. I mean, it's just I don't know. I just had that feeling. I mean, y'all playing at home. I mean, that was. I just watched it the year before, and it is a crazy place in there, man. I wouldn't want to. If I was an opposing team, I would not want to play there.
It's
a great-
it's a great stadium.
Oh, absolutely. I want to catch a game, but I hadn't never been to that
I feel
stadium.
better about everything if we had more World Series, but we
Right.
don't. So I can't really talk.
I get it, but hey, it's this is a good year for y'all. So we'll see what happens at the end of the year.
It's
Long
early.
season left. so
162 games. We're
Yeah.
gonna hold our breath.
There you
But
go.
I want to start with this just because we have a short amount of time with you, and I want to
Yeah.
get into this. You've obviously had an amazing career. I'm proud of you as someone who's watched you grow. What is your opinion on where country music is right now? Because obviously it's hit the mainstream. Everybody's doing it. It's a big thing. It's mainstream now. Like, what's your opinion on that as a whole?
I think I love it. I mean, anytime country music is in the forefront and getting publicity, I love it. When I came on the scene, it was a little obviously different than it is now, but I grew up on 90s country music, and I think I've heard that, country's always going to be evolving, and even to this point now where it's almost like going back to, even before the 90s, and just some really cool sounds. And I think every different style of music, allows for the next artist to be able to do something different. And I think, when I came in, it was a whole different scene. And now I've been able to grow as an artist, and I love to have fun on stage. Some of those songs that, if you see them live, you kind of get it. But then, now I've been able to put out songs that hit you right in the heart, and I think it's a little bit of everything. That's why I love country music, because it's about all parts of life. Life ain't always fun, and I don't know. I love the serious songs too. So
Yes. That to me is like you as an artist, though.
yeah,
Like,
I love it all. I truly do. I can't stand up there and sing tear jerkers for an hour and a half.
It'd be a
I gotta
fucking
have
weird show. If you did,
But it's just some people do that. You got to use what you got. I think I heard that a long time ago. And for me, I love to have fun, but I've been allowed to share some of my personal experiences, from losing folks I love to getting married and to everything. It's just it's country music's real life, and anytime I can share my story and know that other people, I can relate to them out there. It's why I love country music in the first place. So.
Is there any part of you that feels like a certain ownership over country, whereas like a lot of pop artists are getting into country now, and you're like, I don't know if that's really for them?
No, I don't. As somebody that was welcomed into country music, the community with open arms, I would never, anybody that's got the guts to write their songs, get up there and sing them. I don't. Music's music. I don't know why there's labels on it anyway. If it's good, listen to it. If you don't like it, turn the station, quit talking shit.
He's
you know,
one of us, dude.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah.
Now, Dante, on the other hand, has some inside information on you. Just friends, colleagues that happen to know you well.
Okay.
Dante, any questions off the bat for Cole?
No, I've just heard legendary stories about your college days for years and years and years. Southern Georgia, right?
Yeah, Georgia Southern. Yeah.
Georgia Southern.
Statesboro.
And I mean, talk about a powerhouse of talent down there at the time. I mean, I heard like you guys all played at the same bar.
Yeah.
Down there.
I mean, Luke that's where I met Luke Bryan, was when I was in college, same fraternity. People get it. We weren't in college at the same time. He had already moved to Nashville, and he was back with his college band doing shows. And I remember, I mean, he was huge before anybody even knew who he was outside of Georgia. And yeah, I mean, me and my buddy Burke Allen were playing the bars, playing cover songs. And I really realized, I was like, man, as fun as this is, hearing everybody sing back, these aren't even my songs. And that really, you know, getting to know Luke and knowing that he was a songwriter first is kind of why I chose the path I did. And a lot of songwriters from Georgia Southern that just aren't even artists. They just write songs. I mean, it's, you know, when you see somebody do it from that close around you, I think it gives you this sense of, hey, maybe I can do it. And every artist from Georgia, even, you know, from Alan Jackson to Travis Tritt, there's so many people growing up that, I don't know, I think when you see somebody do it from right down the road, it gives you a little bit of hope that you can do it too. So thankful for Georgia.
What is it about that like area or that group of dudes that like just for some reason resonated with the rest of the world? Like,
I wish I knew. People ask that all the time. There's so many artists. I mean, it just keeps going. I mean, every 3 new artists that come out, I feel like at least one of them's from Georgia.
Yeah.
And I think it's what I just said. I really do think it's, growing up a fan of people. And it's different than, seeing somebody on TV than knowing that, hey man, I grew up an hour and a half from this person. It just, I don't know, it feels different, but I think it starts with being a fan. I think there's a lot of country music fans in Georgia. I know that's how it started for me. And now getting to see it from the other side, I think that's why I appreciate the fans so much, is because I am one. I get it. And I never, dreamed of getting to do half the stuff I get to do. So it's pretty crazy. I mean, Georgia, they say there's something in the water, but I don't know.
There's definitely something in the water.
How have you managed to stay so humble?
Yeah, what is that?
It's crazy.
You're either a freak or a liar. I can't figure out which one it is, bro.
I mean, it's just, have you seen the talent out there? I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think I moved here to write songs. I didn't know if I'd ever get a record deal. And the fact that I get to write them and sing them is, I don't know. And I just know how talented people are in this town, and people that would give anything for this opportunity, even that maybe hadn't been discovered yet. And I hope I'm that person that lets them know, with my story, as crazy as it is, I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't lived it. But hey, man, if you love something, it can happen if you work hard enough. So,
all right, I got a toss up for you. Do you enjoy writing or singing the songs more?
Golly, depends on if I'm in a writing room or on the stage. I think it's hard. I mean, I know people ask that. I mean, I literally, you might not believe this, but going out there and hearing people sing the song back, I mean, that's the best feeling in the world. Yeah. But what parts that people don't see, I wish they could, are in that writing room, when it's just, I mean, y'all would think that we were nuts if you watched the writing session, I think. But coming up with a line where you cannot wait for everybody to hear it, your high five, and it's just, that's the same feeling as running out on stage in front of thousands of people to me, just because I know and songwriters, they don't get the credit they deserve. And we would not have the music if people realized that we wouldn't have these songs. I don't care who sings them, if the writers didn't write them. And there's a lot of artists that write. I take pride in that too. But if we weren't for songwriters, we would not have music. And I don't think people know how miserable of a world.
Well, I'll tell you this much: we have to get you on stage.
Yep.
Obviously.
Yep.
We will get another opportunity to talk to you. We're going to have you back on the podcast.
Absolutely.
I need to find out what your flaw is. I haven't figured it out yet. You're too nice of a guy. We're going to figure out what it is. But regardless, everybody, Cole, do you have new music coming out? Do you have a tour playing?
I've got a brand new song out. I'm getting married this year. This is a song I wrote from what it's called Forever to Me. We've got, we're on the Win the Night tour right now with my buddy Dylan Scott, and multiple acts coming out, first of 3.
Good friend of ours.
Oh yeah, love Dylan, man. He's great. It's been a fun few weekends. So yeah, if we're ever around and y'all can make it, man, y'all are always welcome.
We'll
on me,
be there.
So it's gonna be fun.
By the way, that is A+ song title.
What's that?
You said Forever to Me?
Yeah.
Unbelievable
Thank you.
song.
Well, you got it. Y'all check it out, man. And I'm really proud of it. I've got so many breakup songs. I didn't know if I'd ever get to write love songs.
Oh man,
this was awesome.
Hey, thank you for having me, man.
Thank you so much for coming.
We appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.
Barstool Backstage.